Hello and welcome back to Jokakaka's Eva-cast, our Evangelion watch-through podcast. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And I have seen Eva. I'm the big Eva super fan. I love it. I breathe it. I live it. I'm loving this rewatch. Sam has never seen it.
Yeah, I have not.
First time.
First time watching it, really, but I know a lot about it because of word of mouth, because it's just hard to not hear anything about this show or referenced or anything else. But
It's true.
I probably will buy a model kit after the series, though, of it.
So, on this episode of Jokakaka Eva-cast, Jokakaka-cast, maybe? Is it something? No, it's not. We watched episodes 7 and 8 of the original series Neon Genesis Evangelion, which are the episodes The Works of Man, also known as A Human Work, and also we watched AUSKA Strikes in Japan, also known as AUSKA Strikes.
What's it in German?
It'd be AUSKA Strikes.
Epic.
No, it would probably just be like AUSKA Schlake or something.
Sloppy.
No, it would just, I don't know what the word for strike. I guess you probably could say schlagen would be for strike. Cause like schlag means to hit. But I don't know if there's probably like, it'd be probably like, Asuka's Angriff or something. Let me find out.
You don't have to. That was literally a stupid thing I was going to just...
But yeah, so this is kind of the first episode first batch that we've done, because we've done them in twos. This is the first one where they're not like a two-parter. Like every other one had been before this.
I used to as important or plot-centric filler episodes where it's not like it's very different from like the stuff we got before, but like it has stuff that feels like filler episodes. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? We're like,
no, I don't.
We're like, oh yeah, this is just my friends are coming along for this adventure for some reason, and like while we're doing the side activity, oh no, monsters attacked.
I mean, like, it's weird, but in both episodes,
it's very important
we have,
to introduce. Like I said, is it very important? It has like the bone structure of a filler episode, but are actually very important.
You're crazy. It just has it's just great writing. The show feels easy breezy and beautiful all the time. Every episode feels fun and good.
Like I said, it's very different from what the first episodes before this. That's why
I think they intentionally we go away from Tokyo 3 in both of these episodes, and I think that's intentional. Like, I think they wanted to kind of change the look of the show, because we have like more of a destroyed Tokyo in the Jet Alone episode, and then in the AUSKA one, obviously they're on the ocean. So I think it's intentional. It just spices up like the set pieces are both very interesting and different. Just
to have a fish angel.
Yeah, I really like the design of the what is it, the sixth? This is the sixth angel.
I guess so.
Which name I don't know. I don't know this name off the top of my head.
But
it might be on. Oh, it's called Gagheel. Gagheel, maybe.
Let me see.
Godric. It's Gaghiel.
You can't show me. Let me just look at the name.
It's so small. Hold on. Let me make it big for you. Gagheel.
Gargamel. Very angelic name.
So yeah, but just to go over the first episode, Jet Alone.
This is like the Masato episode.
This one it's probably like, I think what you mean by like it feels like a filler episode, it's got like a lot more lighthearted elements.
Yeah, but like, that as well. But...
This episode has like a lot of jokes. This is like the funniest episode that we've seen. It has a lot of humor. Like, they repeat the scene where Shinji and Pen both take a bite of their breakfast at the same time. They show that scene like 3 times.
And you get mundane, and you gotta just reuse assets, reuse scenes like her downing the beer.
There is a lot of reused clips in this episode in particular. But yeah, we have like really it's an inspection into Misato's character. That's what this episode is. Like, we really get like a feel for Misato, and it's really interesting because she's able to stay jokey, but we still get like a taste of her personality.
Yeah.
Like the part, I really think of the part when like Ritsuko is like yelling at the one, not yelling, but she's having like a civilized fight with the one guy.
Debate argument.
A debate, yeah. A debate, like what's it called? A meeting of the minds, if you will. And
it's very awkward. It's like someone's like at a presentation on the stage, and then like a spotlight would shine on like a singular person like on like the balcony, and they're just having like and they just have a microphone for some reason. They're just having like an argument. I don't know where Risco got that microphone from.
Who knows? It was planted there.
But yeah, so basically the plot, you know, they had that typical thing of like Shinji kind of being embarrassed of her because his friends are like kind of do that hot girl, she's great.
They simp for her because she's extremely attractive.
Yes.
They're teenage boys and she's an extremely attractive woman.
And then basically Misato's going on like her and Risky are going on like a trip to like a.
It's like a conference, but it's actually more of like a demonstration.
I thought it was like Nerve Party was like on like.
So this is specifically not Nerve. Like this is a different organization.
It was like their dressing room with like Nerve Party.
Well, I think what they meant by that was like Nerve room, like
yeah. As I said, like a dressing room for the Nerve Party, which is like the representatives of them, which are those two.
And so this seems to be like. It's
more great Misato outfits.
Yeah, we get like an interesting look in the world that like
this is very...
Nerve is not Nerve has like this weird super position where they're able to like get whatever shit they want from the government, but there's other maybe non-governmental organizations that are still trying to like swoop in.
This is very much
spot.
Like a Anno thing of just like business arguments, stuff like that, of like not only against business but like organizations. Like I feel like this Elon Musk tried to make a robot is like what I summed up as.
That was when you said that, it was very funny because ultimately what like we kind of have a similar. It's like they're taking the idea of the last episode where we're gonna just like eschew all bureaucracy. We have 10 hours to get this. We have 10 hours to power up this gun so we can destroy the angel. Yeah. This is like the opposite. It's like they have created a system where there's so much bureaucracy that when it's time to like, okay, we need the codes to deactivate this thing, we can't get it because we have to keep calling like 10 other guys.
It's a very much like I said, we talk about Shin Godzilla a lot, but you can kind of just tell like how much Anno loves like the inner working of like how like the bureaucracy of like everything would go.
And I love the scenes too where it just shows like a guy on the golf course for like 5 seconds and then it cuts to, like a guy in a boardroom. Like we just get these really like detailed snapshots of like other people, and I don't know, like Shin Godzilla did the same thing. Like Anno's directing style certainly has not changed much in over 2 decades.
Not at all,
which is fine because it's great.
Like I said, we have like Risco arguing with the guy presentating, and like so basically Misato like shut up. It's not like
Misato is. It's funny because she's not really mad. She almost looks like she's bored.
She'd be very bored with just here like at a conference, like a boring ass conference. Like
but then when they go to like the dressing room, she is really mad. She's like furious that. So essentially, what's happening is this guy is getting like a huge government contract to build like a new mech that's not an Eva.
Yeah, and he also just flaunting around top secret like files. So and it also just comes to know that they somehow get information leaked to them.
Yeah, that's the big thing because they talk about Eva. They talk about how basically
it lost control.
Yeah, it becomes a whole thing where Ritsuko is trying to defend the Eva program, where this guy is trying to say, well, you have like berserker problems, like. You just are like getting all this weird government money. Why is everything a secret? Like everything's a mystery. They don't explain like what they're fighting.
The pilots are in danger. With our program, we don't really need a pilot for it. Like
exactly. So it's kind of them trying to flex on Nerve, and it's funny because we see them back in the dressing room, and Misato is like furious. She's kicking the locker. But then Ritsuko has like Jet Alone documents that she's burning.
Yeah,
which is kind of a little tease to like the end. It kind of explains like the very end of the episode.
Also, it's a bad idea to do that inside the middle of the dressing room. Just like this is not very safe, not very not fire safety.
Oh, it's fine. Just keep it away from the smoke detectors, and she'll be good. They do also mention they talk a little bit about the second impact.
Yes.
Too. They explain to Shinji, there's like a cover up.
Yeah.
Basically,
it's a cover up. They allow I forgot what they said they were like a humanoid.
Yeah, so a humanoid was found in Antarctica 15 years ago, and while they were studying it, the second impact happened, which was a big explosion.
Like the first impact was like technically be the dinosaur, the meteor destroyed the dinosaurs, but
I'm trying to remember. You might be correct
because I can.
It's funny, like with Eva, it's really hard to like get a definitive answer because a lot of the quote unquote lore comes from the game, the Nintendo 64.
Really?
Game. Yeah, which I personally don't consider canon because I'd only consider the main series.
If Anno did like the lore stuff for that, maybe it could be.
I don't know if he did. I don't know. I see if it was important enough to include in the series, then that's canon. If not, then I don't.
I can look into it once we've actually finished like the series.
Yeah, because there's a lot of like. It's kind of like the whole thing where they basically like midichlorians, like they just explain like everything in the game, and it's to the point where I don't know, I don't like that. It's better when there's more vague mystery elements to it than like someone being like, oh, this character is this and blah 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 blah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Without getting into like any spoilers.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's interesting. But basically, then we kind of go.
Also, by the way, this whole episode's in old Tokyo.
Yes.
They keep referring to it old Tokyo
because they fly over like basically a half sunken city.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know where the press conference technically is like. It's like on like one of the skyscrapers like at the top.
Yeah, there's some sort of like it looks like they have a lot of platforms because I mean Jet alone walks.
Yeah,
straight.
they go by and then you kind of see like an actual like area that's actually like not like that. Like I guess they're like on a mountain, I would assume, or something.
And one of there's like a lot of really good little mechanical details in this one, but I just love that everyone used a helicopter there. There's like a helicopter parking lot. They're all different. Like every helicopter looks different. Like they didn't need to do that.
Yeah, also just a little information thing from the beginning is that Misato did like a recruitment, like a recruiter kind of thing at like Shinji's school.
So yeah,
where she overdrifted into the parking spot and everybody's like, "Whoa, she's so hot."
It's kind of not really explained why she went to the school.
Like I said,
it almost feels like she went to like flex on Shinji because Shinji made fun of her earlier in the episode for being sloppy. So of course she shows up to his school looking hot as hell and then gets all the
but also
excites the teenagers.
Also seem to be there to like just be a recruiter, like an army recruiter essentially.
It definitely
because she said she was part of like a future career kind of thing. So she mentioned that she was like,
oh yeah,
she
I
was
think
there
they did
for,
mention that too.
Yeah, she was mentioned there to be like a future like career path. I'm like, oh, she's an army recruiter essentially.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Army recruiters are very annoying.
Yeah, I've actually never had to deal with any in real life.
I remember at my old job, there'd be like, hey, do you have any interest in the military? I'm like, fuck no. Like, you're cool doing this? I'm like, yes, I am.
You should have been like, oh, like Call of Duty and then drop shot him.
I'm like, oh, yeah, look at how my skinny ass would be great for the military. My half flat-footed ass? Nah.
Oh, you'd bulk up.
Nah.
You'd bulk up.
I'm half flat-footed. I can't.
You get wide. Hey, that's not an excuse anymore.
I know.
That's not an excuse anymore. I have the same thing.
Fuck you.
They have certain shoes that they can make you serve. So in 2 years when we're conscripted to fight in the World War III,
oh god,
they're gonna give us nice shoes.
When we have to get into the Evas.
Yeah, they're gonna give us nice shoes for it.
I'm just perfectly thin enough to be fit into it.
You'd fit right in the cockpit, Sam.
Yeah.
But so basically, yeah, we have this thing where
the presentation of their robot.
Yeah, they do a whole demonstration, and they're like, we're going to make it walk forward, and then they cheer when they makes it walk forward.
It looks very much like a 1960s like Japanese like robot design, like a very like Voltron or like what's I don't know in my head.
Voltron would have been like 70s.
Or what's the other one? I'm trying to think of the major.
You're thinking of like the old Go Nagai ones, like
Getter
Robo.
There's another one. It's in my head. I can't. I have it on the tip of my tongue.
There's Getter Robo and there's another one. I believe Getter Robo is Go Nagai. I don't know. I haven't really seen actually much Getter Robo myself.
But
there's another one too. I'm trying to think of.
But I'm like, this could easily have been like a U.S. trying to make a robot flex and going horribly wrong.
But yeah. So ultimately, it's just a big funny guy. I like his design. I think, as you said, it's very like throwback. It looks like he's got a big smile.
Yes.
But yeah, so their whole plan is like, okay, we have no pilot inside, and also the bonus thing is it can operate for like 150 days without being charged. Where the Eva, I think the way he refers to the Eva units in this sub, he says like, rather than like a decisive attack, we have like a prolonged it's not like you only have 5 minutes to make the attack to win. Like you have like a longer time.
Yeah, it's
also bigger.
It has a color. Yeah, Mazinger. I was kind of thinking of.
Yes, Mazinger.
But it had a lot of that color design of like the red, white, and blue. But it didn't really have like the black. It had some black parts on it as well. But like that color schemes that the old robos always had. But yeah, so of course it goes horribly wrong. And it goes off. So basically, it's just set on auto walk, and it just starts walking. It walks through the building at one point, and I love this one image of like it leaves a footprint, like stone, like on a table. So,
and Misato pokes her head out, and like it's really funny how Misato is always so like snarky. It's almost like the people in like leadership roles are failing, and it's not her fault. So she's able to like laugh at them.
So basically, she comes up with a plan, essentially, because like they do the thing that you said earlier, where they try to get the go ahead to go with her plan from like a bunch of bureaucrats, and they just do tag, and she's like, I'm just gonna do this now. We're getting Shinji, we're getting the Eva 1, and we're gonna like hold the robot back while I go in there and turn it off. And I love her little suit that she has there. She has like an Eva suit essentially.
It's like a little
it's like a hazmat Eva suit.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It has her hair in her ponytail and talks with Shinji about the plan and about just drop me off of there. We're just gonna stop it. You can survive. You'll be fine.
Yeah, she's like, don't if this because the whole threat is that like the cooling system's not working, so it's gonna explode essentially like a nuke.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, don't worry, Shinji. Like you'll be fine in your Eva. I'll just die. And then Shinji has a moment where he's like, no, he's like, no, but you. And it just shows like he cares about Misato.
Yeah.
Like Shinji now does totally care about Misato. Even though he's fed up with her being a slob, which she's often to do.
It's an adorable character trait.
But yeah, so it's kind of a cool sequence. It's very like anticlimactic. Like you think that Misato's going to be able to type the secret code in.
The password is hope.
Hope, yes. Very
but epic. Yeah, she's in there. Shinji's trying to hold the robot back. I love it like when he just grabbed like the little
handle. There's like a handle.
Back.
There's like a perfectly grabbable handle in the back. I love that.
You couldn't just kick the legs out.
No, it would have floated around. Misato couldn't. Misato would have had to crawl like through the hallways.
Yeah, I guess.
Flipped.
That's true. So he's holding it back. She goes in there. The password doesn't work. So basically, she figures out that it was sabotaged.
Yeah, because she starts to like push the cooling rods in, but then at the very last second, the
cooling rod either
slides perfectly in, and like the threat of meltdown
it was
stops.
sliding in slowly, and then it kind of goes in and stops, and
she immediately realizes, okay, this was not me. Like there was something else going on here.
Yeah.
And then we find out later, so we see Ritsuko report to Gendo, and she's basically like, everything
went according to plan.
Everything according to plan, except Misato, because Misato chose this like weird heroic act that nobody predicted.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because, like, did Ritsuko just think that Misato would just sit there and let this explode? Like,
or maybe her plan was just to get Shinji in there to like either just destroy the robot and just let it blow up in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because they said, oh, he'll be fine in the Eva, so like he would just like stopped in the middle of nowhere and.
That's true. And it does seem like there's nobody there.
Or their plan was to let the robot like they stopped to maybe go into the city and cause some casualties, so like they wouldn't get the money, or they get like completely like fucked over for like trying to have their.
Well, I guess the plan. The robot was never supposed to explode. That was part of the plan.
Yeah, but I meant but it was still step on people, so it caused like collateral damage to make sure that nervous works and like theirs went out of control. Like they're not gonna get any funding anymore and go to us like that.
It is just really funny.
Not gonna blow up. They have like a huge match counter, but have destruction from it, and as well maybe step on a few people.
Enough for them to lose credibility.
They're making the mother of all almas. They can't fret over every egg, Jim.
But yeah, it's kind of funny that like I don't know, they just totally didn't think that Misato would care. Like Misato's just like, all right, whatever. Like, but yeah, I don't know.
They'll come back.
I like this episode. It's funny, kind of bookends. So like,
it's playing the seeds of Nerve being sus to her.
Yeah, like Misato is not.
She's a high ranking, and they're keeping stuff from her.
Yeah.
And the fact that Ritsuka knows this stuff though, even though I guess she's just a head researcher, I guess I'm not sure her official ranking, but
I think she's like the chief science officer.
The fact that
CSO,
she has this thing connected to Gendo more than Masato, who's like right under him essentially, or he should be right under him. So it's interesting. Some little, and then like
intrigue.
Yes, and then what's it called? But it ends with like Shinji like being like, she's so cringe, and be like,
he literally says
like,
that.
Dude, she's like family. Like the way you act her, that's like family. You should be happy with that shit.
And he's like, oh yeah, I guess I should be.
And then
this is kind of one of those like, all right, Shinji, you're fucking stupid.
And it just does like ends like a sitcom where just like, haha, it freeze frames on him like
it freeze frames on Shinji laughing. But it is kind of neat. Like Shinji didn't. You brought this up because I was like, it is kind of stupid, but Shinji never really lived with anybody. He didn't have like sisters or family, so this is the first time that he's really seeing how somebody is, like seeing both their sides.
He could just be like learning he's like a neat freak and just like having someone be a slob is just fucking with him.
Yeah, which definitely is true because like he cleaned that apartment right up. Like that was the first thing he did was clean that apartment.
So. But yeah, I feel like this first time kind of understanding what having a family is like. Is why he didn't like understand it at first. It had to be literally mansplained to him.
Literally.
So.
But yeah, I like this one. I think it's fine. It's a good episode of Eva for sure.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's not like my favoritist, but it's like
that's it. If you like Masato, and it's, like I said, it seemed like a filler, but then you get to that little bit of intrigue of the sus nerve stuff coming in there. And Masato like kind of like starting to get that beginning of that, or it feels like it's getting the beginning of that. Where obviously that's where it's leading to, especially after the end of the next episode.
And she even acknowledges it too. Like Misato is pretty clever. So.
Yeah, because they had that filler lesson of, this is like my family now, like kind of thing. It's like the little like things that makes you feel like Ano took a mixture of both, of like I could do a filler episode of like, but using that to expand the world, but also just bringing in new intrigue.
I think your definition or your idea of a filler episode is very tainted.
It is.
I don't quite understand.
Shonen Crab did that to me.
I feel like I don't know. I see filler. I feel like filler is pretty rare. I think a lot of times what people point to as filler is not filler.
It makes you feel like that's like the feeling you're gonna get, but you actually get important stuff instead. Like
you're just crazy.
It's a fake filler.
You're crazy. There's so much like character development. It's not like I feel like filler is truly like original stuff that is nothing that doesn't advance character. I know
this is an original show. I'm not saying it is filler. It just gives you the illusion of what filler is.
You're crazy. I disagree.
You're crazy. You're dumb.
Your brain's warped. You've been eating too much microplastics.
That's you.
Hey, they taste delicious.
There you go.
But AUSKA strikes in the next episode 9 of 8 of Evangelion.
The gang goes on a fucking boat.
Yes.
For some reason, they bring along his friends.
It is kind of random. It's a
very filler thing to do.
What are you? You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy.
Just to bring side characters along to have them in the episode.
I actually forgot how involved these characters are. These characters have been in almost every episode since they've been introduced.
But we thought we were gonna do a field trip to the ocean on this Sunday. Like
it is kind of strange. Misato does not care about like top secret confidential shit at all in this.
The one character is literally just like, whoa, look at the military plane X123, and it's like, I'm gonna record this on camera.
Yeah, it's really funny. Misato doesn't even care that he's just recording all this
recording
shit.
like UN secrets. Doesn't care about the nerve secrets.
That's true.
Who cares about exposing the UN? That's boring.
Where were
but
we?
Yeah,
so it's
that's the whole plot. Like they're flying them in. And we see the silhouette of a girl in a yellow dress with her red hair.
I wonder who that could be.
I wonder who that iconic character that could be. One of the most merchandised characters in existence.
Also, one little thing. There's a little detail in the very beginning where they say that Gendo's expecting a package from this.
Gendo's big package.
Gendo's expecting a package from this.
That's the next filler episode. Gendo's big package.
So the whole time you think that it's actually AUSKA, but the big package is actually a fetus at the end of the episode.
You should save that for later.
Yeah, we'll get to it later. But I just want to say,
Gendo's big package was not in fact AUSKA.
But yeah,
or the Eva.
AUSKA is here.
Yes. So yeah, we have. Because
AUSKA's I love AUSKA. AUSKA's introduction is great.
The comedic effect that his one friend's hat flies off. She steps on it. The wind fucking flies open and shows her everything.
Yeah.
I guess she's just not gonna wear underwear.
No, she wore underwear.
I know,
you can kind of see it in one shot. Of course you can.
So as a character does as he does in response to seeing that, just flashes his dick to her.
Yeah, that part is really weird. It's almost like revenge. Like he's mad that he saw it. So, because I think she smacks them all.
Yeah, she slaps him because he's right there.
He's mad that happened. So he pulls. The fact that he pulls his underwear and pants down is crazy.
He's just like Kazuma and Konosuba. He's also an activist for gender equality. So he's like, it's only right for I to flash myself.
Yeah, and Misato does not give a shit. No. Misato is like smiling through this whole scene. It's kind of hilarious.
But we basically go to like a meetup and everything with AUSKA. She's from Germany. She's the third children.
She is the third child. Yeah, the dub or the sub keeps saying like first children, second children.
The third
AUSKA
child
is the third child, so she's
from Germany.
The third one that's been chosen to pilot an Eva.
She's not really from like a nerve branch. She's like part of the German government that just has like a Eva from.
Well, I think it's a little vague. I'm pretty sure like the Eva was created by Nerve, but like. It was. I guess maybe it's like a German branch of Nerve. If you want to call it
just like the way they had their foot in the German government. It's just like having a Nerve there.
Yeah. So, but she was overseas. She wasn't in Japan now. The big thing is now she's finally coming.
She's coming.
AUSKA's coming.
She has a handler.
So yeah, she actually didn't know. So she was just on this like fleet because there's a big fleet like taking them, and Kanji, or Kaji rather, his name's Kaji.
Yes.
Kaji,
the assumed ex-boyfriend of
Misato.
Misato, yes.
He shows up and immediately Asuka blushes. Asuka's like obsessed with this guy. She gets so excited when she finds out he's here, and he's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm also here." He says that I'm like overseeing Asuka or whatever.
Overseeing, yeah.
But yeah, we have a scene. I just love the scene when like
they're having like dinner
they're
or
playing
lunch.
like footsies.
Yeah,
like
or
Misato and Kaji
or
are
he's
like,
at least playing footsies with her, like while she's like not really like.
Yeah, he's like irritating her, and then like he makes a kind of a lewd joke, which I think in English the joke doesn't hit as hard.
Yeah, she's like, "Hey Shinji, did she still move around her bed or not?" And everybody like reacts except for like Shinji, because like, yeah, she's just a fucking crazy weirdo.
Yeah, and Misato and Asuka are like shocked for like a minute straight after this joke. I wonder what the joke actually is, because like it feels like it should be something very raunchy. Because what he literally says in the sub is like, "Does she still flop around in her sleep?" Which is pretty innocuous if you really.
Does she still like moan or.
Yeah, if it was something like that, or it's like, "Oh, does she still say daddy every time she licks her lips or whatever?" Like,
God,
it could have been a lot worse than it actually was. But Misato takes offense to it, and she's upset. So there's clearly history between Kaji and Misato.
Obviously, very
and
intimate
Asuka
history.
Also seems to like him too.
Yeah.
And there's a funny scene too where they're all in a cramped elevator, and Misato and Asuka both say, "Hey, keep your hands to yourself." And then both Kaji and Toji at the same time both say, "Hey, what do you expect me to put him?" Like, it's funny that like I don't know.
Shinji was like really up close on somebody, and they didn't, because Shinji just like didn't want to tell him no, I guess. Or she just didn't care because he's used to it by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, the most important thing is that Shinji and Asuka kind of go off, because she wants to wave her dick around about her Eva, where it is red. She is the red color scheme. Mecha, I knew about that.
Also, and she explains like it's not just the paint job. Like this is the first, to her words, this is the first real Evangelion. Like
their Eva designed for combat.
Yeah. Which the other ones weren't, which I guess is whatever.
What do you think of the design for Zero?
I think it's great.
This is Eva 2, right?
02, yeah.
They do mention that they accepted the funding for 6, where like they want to put 6 into production, and
I think that might have been the last episode.
And 5 is like being made.
Yeah, Gendo mentions like a few other Eva. Because like at this point we only know about 3, so it's kind of crazy.
And I know Ray. I think Ray gets a new one, if I remember. I did see a blue one. I believe so.
Blue. But yes, it's epic. What were we talking about? I think I like 02's design. I think I might like.
Is this
Unit 1's? Or sorry, Unit 1 has the most iconic. But yeah. I think if I had to pick one, I like Ray's. It has like the most like
unique.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a unique. It's like as we said, it's like a prototype. It looks really stripped down, but I just think it looks cool. I like the big eye.
The slim look always can go well for mecha.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But yeah, Asuka's looks great. Like the red and black look awesome. I like the 4 eyes to it as well.
I like the red with the green is really good.
Yeah, it's Christmas colors.
Yes, I like a good colors coming together, making a really good slick design. Like I like a good like blue and orange can be a good slick design color scheme.
And I just love the Eva designs. Like I love how slender the frame is. Like they're fucking cool.
Also during this the grumpy captains are like, "These people in their freaking Evangelion. Back in my day, we would blow them up with the might of the American military."
It's like, dude, you didn't even have Evas or angels when you were a kid. They just happened like 2 months ago.
And conveniently, an angel attacks. So seemingly only really targeting at least the Eva 2 at least.
Yeah, that's what like I think Asuka's like it's like looking for something, or Misato says, "Oh, is it going for Eva Unit 2?"
It was the only, and it seems to, because it fucking bites onto it. So.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we've only seen them go after like
the facility.
Tokyo 3 before, the Geo front.
And so basically that happened, and then they have to. So basically, Asuka just pulls Shinji aside and be like, "Okay, we're going into the robot, but I had to get into my outfit. I'm in the stairs head. Don't peek." And she's like, "You perv, why'd you peek?" I'm like, he's fine. Shinji's seen like Rei and all her bits, so this is like nothing to him. And Misato's.
Shinji's seen like all the women naked already.
Yeah,
it's like it's nothing to him.
It's like burned to his brain. He's like, this is nothing. But like, cause like I know she's like one of those premier like characters where like she had the first I'm surprised she felt like, cause all that trope you see with her kind of character would be like, oh, she's gonna be hostile to Shinji right away, but she's like not. She's just like she wants to show off to him because he's like a famous pilot for going to sink right away with it, but like she's just trying to flex more to Shinji than trying to be antagonistic towards him, other than just occasional bickering about like, you're just a perv, like all men are pervs kind of thing.
She's more hostile to Toji.
Yeah,
Toji's
Toji's
being like a horrible person.
Yeah, he showed his dick to her.
Yeah, like unprovoked, like disgusting.
He's gonna get arrested when he get back. No, he was on international waters. Because they do say that. I think they do say that at one point. Like, my ship is
the captain says like, this is my jurisdiction out here. Because Misato's like, yeah, give me control over the Eva and shit. And he's like, no, it's international. Like, it's our jurisdiction out here.
So basically, also she makes Shinji wear her Eva suit, which is really funny.
Doesn't have his.
And
so he's got like the girl version.
So they go into the mech. Also, Kaji. I'm getting used to the names.
Yeah, he just showed up.
He just showed up. So he pieces out.
Yeah, he gets a call, and the guy's like, all right, be here. It's Gendo on the other line.
Yeah, because you see him leaving in the, whoa, look at that Hornet Harrier plane that's flying away. Like, it looks so cool.
Yeah, and it's funny. I like this too. This is the only time Misato's like happy to see, because so we kind of, this is like a little out of sync of what's happening. But
yeah, it just helps to get this out of the way.
Yeah, like when he shows up, like the AUSKA and Shinji are in the unit in Unit 2 and they're underwater. So it seems like, oh, Kaji's coming to the rescue. Like he's gonna save them.
Give him a weapon or something.
But no, he literally pieces it. He's like, all right, bye, Misato, and she's so mad. At first she's like, Kaji, and then he leaves.
The worst carer.
The worst carer.
But so yeah, they get in. So this is something I looked at Jim entirely for, because she turns the mecha on. She has to speak in German, and
so yeah, because she speaks German, her mech is like programmed for German, and she speaks
rate the German.
It's very bad. Like, so I couldn't quite understand what she said. I don't know if grammar wise it was correct, but the pronunciation was so rough that I really couldn't understand.
I could barely hear it. Like, why did not have,
it was a little better.
Why did they not have subtitles for it?
Yeah, they also, the Netflix thing too that they always do is they like they'll just say like German, like speaking German under like, tell me what she's fucking saying.
You even put on the dub to see if you could hear it any better. You couldn't.
There is a German version of the Eva dub. Like, they've subtitled it.
Did you speak in English for that?
No, they speak in German. They actually keep this like, because they make like reference to like Shinji's only like knows Japanese, so he's thinking in Japanese.
Yeah, because she's like because the error comes like, whoa, what's going on? What does that word mean? Like, you're not thinking in German. I'm like, you know how fucked up? Like, you had to think in German. I'm like, that's very like difficult for you. Just brought a Japanese boy onto here, doesn't know. Like,
you can't tell someone who doesn't speak a language to think in that language.
If I was brought on, I had to think only the word Guten Tag and like Schnitzel and like all these stereotypical fucking German words that I know.
You need
Jaeger.
You need like a certain amount of language proficiency before you can start thinking in the language. Like, it took me a while before I could like, because I could speak German. It took me a while before I could really like think in German. But that's kind of the big breakthrough when you're learning a language. Whatever, unrelated to Evangelion. But in the dub, the American voice actress did a better job, but it was still like
so rough.
You could tell this is not a native German speaker. Which, why would they be? They're an American English voice actor. Like, I'm not like too upset about it, but it's one of those things like just random area of expertise that I have. So
yeah, it's like him getting like just a weird bilingual character. Like, remember Shin Godzilla also has like the lady who wants to be the future president, where she speaks like some English, like a win-win.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Honor just loves that.
It's such a tropey thing, but it's really fun.
He loves to do that, but he can like never hire a bilingual. Oh my god, there was something I read where they actually got like I think there's a character, and maybe in the one thing announced from Anime Fest, but they have a bilingual character in there, and they actually got a bilingual voice actress for it that speaks English and Japanese fluently.
Wow, that's great. That must be, if you can swing that must be great. Well, that's what a lot of like the VTubers can do.
Yeah.
A lot of the HoloLive American, English language HoloLive VTubers can speak Japanese as well.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's
a nice touch to have that.
It is. I find it very interesting. I wish that I knew more languages. I find languages interesting.
So,
but Yeah, so then she's basically just like, oh, well, I speak fluent Japanese, so I'll just turn it to Japanese setting. And then it's fine.
Just like flicks the switch, like the Japanese.
Japanese button, yeah.
You switch on this, like, and she actually elbows, like, the Spanish button, like, oh, no!
Oh, no, I don't know this language.
Oh, no. Dios míos!
But, and then they have a fucking awesome scene. The part where Asuka just uses the tarp as a big cloak and then jumps from ship to ship.
So I saw that, and
awesome.
I am a sucker for a cloaked robot or cloaked mecha, because one of my favorite Gundam designs is called Crossbone Gundam, and I have a RG Gundam model, and it came with the cloak to put on it, and I fucking love that aesthetic. It's so awesome. It looks great no matter what. It's so badass. It's one of my guilty mecha pleasures. It's just cloaked robot. So
I'm looking it up right now. I want to see what it
crossbone.
looks like.
It should have like the
Mobile
black
suit, crossbone
Gundam. I have multiple fucking.
I see it.
I have like 4 different crossbone Gunpla models, and 2 of them I think have a cloak on it. Oh, but that fucking was a pain in the ass to build. But it's always a cool aesthetic.
Yeah, cloaks are fucking cool, and it's cool that it's just like a big tarp too.
Yeah.
It's just the tarp that was used to cover. But yeah, and it's the scene where she jumps from ship to ship is just fucking awesome. Like you mentioned it too, but like
millions of dollars being destroyed,
yeah.
like planes going down, their ships sinking, like killing fucking.
I think that's why Kensuke is in this episode, just so that he can have reactions to seeing like the millions and millions of dollars. Like,
he says like, what a waste.
Yeah, which is funny because like in my mind, whenever I see that, I just think about how expensive that is. Also, there's one little shot I love where like she has the progressive knife out and drops it, and then it perfectly slices like the cockpit off of a fighter jet, and that shot just looks gorgeous.
There's also just like the thing of like she's jumping from ship to ship. I'm like, there's no way like she wouldn't just completely just like, this is way too light of a step that she's taking. It is impossible.
She's just really good at stepping. It's kind of like when people like professional divers, like they don't leave a splash. That's what Asuka does with her Eva.
I guess so. She's used to just jumping. But yeah,
I not to be like a hashtag game theory guy, but like I really am kind of curious how much an Eva would weigh, and if it really would like totally just destroy a boat if it stepped on it.
It's been a common theme where like Shinji tries to stop the running robot by holding it in front of him. Like I feel like the Eva should have like a high heel thing that like a spike that digs into the ground to like keep them in place better.
Oh yeah, that'd be smart.
I feel like that would be like
a stiletto.
Yeah, I feel like that would come in handy more out of like all the experiences that they've had. Especially he's been like attacked physically by a lot of these anyway.
That's true. Especially it is all close quarters. That's what Evas are designed for. They're designed for close quarter combat.
And instead, Asuka was had like a tight B loadout or something like that, which I'm assuming it's just like a close combat or a land loadout or something. I don't know.
I don't know if they ever fucking mention this again.
Probably in the video game or something.
They might mention the video. I don't know if they ever mention a Type A or Type B loadout for. But Shinji seems to like know about it.
It was in the manual.
I think it's just a way for them to explain that her Eva doesn't work underwater, but Evas potentially could work underwater if we need them to for a later episode.
I guess so.
But yeah, she's also
plugged into like a giant like wire spoil that's on like the one of the ships.
Yeah, the big set piece is like they want to do fishing.
You better hope that ship like doesn't get fucking destroyed as well.
I feel like it probably the front would just like get ripped off.
Yeah, because I think one of the boys gave him an idea of fishing. Like, whoa, that's a great idea. Brain blast.
Yeah, Misato's a brain blast.
And so basically, they're underwater. They're like, I'm glad they at least hold in water pretty well from the mecha suit. It doesn't like not get issue to them. Like I was kind of.
They can't move it. That's the thing. They're kind of like frozen. But when it opens its mouth, they see like the core inside.
It jumps up on the ship and like attacks them. So it is like a giant like manta ray. It felt like the design was.
Yeah, it's like a big flat whale kind of.
It's a giant, like manta ray whale, and it opens its mouth. That's where its core is as well. You can see it.
It has like a long snout of a mouth.
It's very very weird design, but they're like none of them really mention like the weak spots right there because obviously the Shinji should know that the core is the weakness, and they never really make a reference to that.
It is strange that they don't mention that because you think that would be like the key thing.
We're stuck in the mouth. Oh, maybe we should reach in and try like rip it or like crush it or like stab it if we have the knife in our hand still, but they don't.
No, they drop the knife.
It is cool when they're dragging underwater though. You do see the destroyed the old city that's under there.
Yeah, and you see how high the water level is too.
Because like they do mention like, oh, if they go in the water, they fuck it. I'm like, oh, okay, the city's under there, but it's very deep, so it's fucked anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, this is a cool scene. I remember back when the only versions, because when I watched Eva, it was hard to watch it like in high quality because the Blu-rays didn't exist yet. The Blu-rays didn't exist until I think 2014. There was no official Blu-ray release in English or Japanese. So this episode was very hard to tell what was happening. The stuff underwater did not look very good.
Yeah.
In hindsight, these like higher quality scans are a lot nicer looking, but yeah, we live in a privileged time where Eva is finally in a high quality.
Hashtag privileged, for better or for worse. It's also a monkey paw curled for that.
It is.
So.
It was a monkey paw.
We got subpar subtitles, so
yeah. But yeah, so and then the cool plan, which I love, is they submerge 2 ships, and then they basically have the ships like slam into Ava's mouth and blow it up.
I do like how this is a combined effort of acting with both of them. Of like, we gotta do this fucked up. Like, okay, we gotta evacuate the ship. We're gonna aim it downwards and fire everything. And that's what they do. They get a burst of they do mention later on where like they somehow like, get a 7-second perfect sync of, and they bet how they lift like the jaw open. So like. By the time it opened, the fucking guns or the tip of the ship went into its mouth, and they both unloaded and actually kill it with actual human technology because they don't have an AT field on the inside of the.
Yeah, this is the first time, maybe the only time we'll ever see a human weapon that isn't an Eva destroy a Angel
or a railgun, I guess.
Yeah,
designed perfectly, made for a Eva to use.
Yeah. Just like a something that you wouldn't expect could kill it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they kill it, and the big thing, as you said,
there's
like,
2 things.
Ritsuko is looking at the numbers, and she's like, "What?" Because Misato's like, "This is all for nothing," and she's like, "Actually, no. There was like a crazy spike in their synchronization rate.
If we ship AUSKA and Shinji, our numbers will go through the roof."
So are they drift compatible though?
Probably. they got along better as like a more of like a. I got more of like a connection between them than Rei and Shinji.
Yeah, which also hilarious. Rei just totally non-existent. She's in the last 2 episodes.
You see her once in the classroom.
She doesn't do anything.
She doesn't know. She just does whatever she does, which is nothing. But AUSKA's now the newest transfer student.
AUSKA's the new Rei.
She has way more personality than Rei.
It's just funny that like Rei got a whole character arc the last like batch, and now she's just not here.
It took 2 episodes for her to have character, and then like, but now we have like AUSKA, who like
we dominates.
We got a lot of her character. Yeah, she is an attention whore.
Yeah, AUSKA really steals the show.
AUSKA is an attention whore. That's a character I got from this.
Yeah,
where she wants to show off and like how good the superior German technology.
I like AUSKA a lot.
Yeah,
and as you said too, because you're kind of alluding to like how she's like one of the archetypical tsunderes.
Yes,
but she's like
she did
so much more than that.
She wasn't hostile. Like I said, she wasn't like immediately hostile to Shinji or like, oh, I don't know, some loser who got this sync raises Eva right away. She was like kind of impressed by that, or she was kind of curious about that.
Yeah,
came across and then she brought Shinji with her, and like they both together like solve the situation. Like it didn't, like I think it wasn't like that typical like, I don't like you back, you idiot.
Yeah.
Like no, it came across as like a weird friendship coming along already.
She's like bickery, but she's also like, she, as you said, she wants to show off, like she wants to impress him, like
and more dimension than most tsundere characters.
And that's the thing, like with like modern anime, and by that I mean even like stuff that came out like 20 years after Eva came out. There's so much like runoff. It's all like runoff of like reusing ideas. So
yes.
When you have a character that is the quote unquote tsundere in like an anime from like 2016, that is the whole character. As you said, the second they show up, they're immediately like, "Oh, I don't like you, Buck." Like to the point where it becomes like a meme.
They have like a good moment together, and then immediately ruined by like, "I don't like you, Buck." And she doesn't like the perv thing, but she did that like a lot of people, and like she thinks everybody's a perv. Mm-hmm. She's also a feminist. As we come to know.
But I think you'll find that AUSKA is way more complex than like just the idea of like the tsundere that has persisted.
That's what I said, because like I came in with that knowledge of, I know she's like one of the proto tsundere that everybody like just like loved, but like surprised when she wasn't like that to the main character. I've been so like black-pilled by that concept.
Yeah, it's just like, and this is something that Anno has talked about openly. Like the anime industry is super incestuous, where all the people creating anime are just inspired by anime they watched. So all the creators that grew up watching Eva in the 90s are just going to be like doing the things that they remember. So that's why you have like characters that aren't super inspired, that characters that just feel like regurgitated AUSKA or whatever. Or like the whole idea of like having a term like tsundere or like Kudere, which is like the one for like a Rei type character, which is like a submissive. That in itself is like a sort of like I would say degenerative, but not in like a like calling someone a degenerate. Like it's like, oh, you're taking something that is like at once was inspired, but now you're just kind of referencing it. You're referencing a reference. It's like taking a Xerox of a Xerox. Like it just gets worse and worse over time.
You took what was work and then you put it to its bare bones and just like shipped it out.
Yeah, you take away all of like the complexity behind AUSKA, but then which we've barely seen yet. But there's still like inklings of it here.
But yeah. Overall though, then we have to end the baby, the fetus.
The fetus. So yeah, Adam.
More biblical stuff, I guess.
So yeah, he
the first human.
So the whole point of the delivery was not for AUSKA or Unit 2. It was actually a briefcase with this weird fetus that's encased in bakelite, which Gendo refers to it as the first human Adam. Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder what that could be.
I wonder if that can come back into play sometime later. Maybe be cloned or like something related to that.
He puts it in his butt.
Like I said, I know a little bit. I know cloning is a thing in this show, so probably something related to that. If it's gonna be a Jurassic Park, but with all like clones, But yeah, I like AUSKA a lot in this. Like from this one episode I had with her. Like I said, I was very surprised and blew my expectations away of what she like. Other than the weird like flashing, he really likes this flashing stuff in this show. Like,
it's funny, Sam. It's a funnier joke than we've ever had before.
Funnier than everything else, like Shinji falling on boobs.
Well, that wasn't funny.
That wasn't funny.
That was serious.
That was serious. A serious
fucking
boob grab.
Serious. But yeah,
pen.
I think like you'll see like the AUSKA that everyone knows comes out soon, but we'll get there.
Is the eye patch only a rebuild thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yes, it is.
Okay, that's sad. I like the eye patch AUSKA design.
It's you'll see. You'll see once we get to the rebuilds.
Becomes a pirate.
Yeah.
She's reintroduced as on the battleship as a pirate.
It's gonna be really interesting going through the rebuilds right after watching. That's what we should probably like have a little time for you to like digest Eva before we watch the rebuilds.
I said when we get to the end there, when we talk about like it's what we'll do after that, we have to stew it over for
because I think you definitely want to, and I really want to watch the newest one again, 2.0 plus 1.0, Thrice Upon a Time.
Fucking.
But I also kind of want to watch
Hearts
that
bullshit name.
I kind of want to watch that in theaters because I know it's getting a theatrical release.
It?
Yeah, they're releasing it in theaters here, so I would love to
if
see that
if it syncs up in time.
We might get lucky enough. Yeah,
that'd be cool. But yeah, I'm for only like a little bit through, but I'm excited to get to more.
Hell yeah!
It's hard to get through 2 episodes a piece. I'm so used to getting like 3 or 4 episodes usually when we do the arc stuff.
Yeah.
But hey, man. I'm liking these episodes a lot now.
See, Eva is good.
It's getting there.
It's a really good anime.
I have my ideas for a Sam pick because comes after this, but that's gonna be another vote one. But yeah, anything else you want to say about this?
No, I think these are fine episodes. AUSKA coming in is just super iconic.
I think next is what you said is what people say is the worst episode of Evangelion.
One of the worst ones is coming up.
What's it called again?
Magma Diver.
Magma Diver.
We'll see.
Magma Diver.
It's funny, like, yeah, we'll talk about it when we get there, but it's very funny how it doesn't really feel like an Eva episode.
Are we doing another 2 episodes or are we doing like a 3 episode one?
I'll take a look. I like to make the call when I see the episodes because sometimes they fit better than others. Like these 2 were kind of just like a little whatever. They didn't really relate too much aside from the fact that they're both like 1 episode stories each. But
yeah. All right. I'm excited. I'm excited to get to more.
Hell.
Which I'm glad we got a little bit of a good session today to watch a bunch. I hate watching like 2 episodes and a half to like wait like a week. It's like one of the worst parts of Attack on Titan where you watch like a little bit of an arc and then be like, fuck. But it gave me a lot of time to think about like predictions though.
I love doing the Attack on Titan watch through again.
Yeah, not many things we could do that with.
No.
But yeah, anything else? How am I? Give me a good plug.
Plug up the whale's hole.
The cooling.
Oh yeah, put the cooling plug in.
The cooling tube back in there.
Push it in with all your might.
Thank you all for listening to the Eva-cast. Again, you can do all the YouTube usual, like, comment, subscribe, that fun stuff. Hit that fucking bell. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter or me and Jim separately. You can also join our Discord, where you can get into the fucking JoJo Part 9 waiting room we still haven't heard anything about after this recording. And with that, I feel that's everything. Hopefully Part 9 will have info by the time we're done with Eva. Who knows, though?
I hope so.
We can only hope.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining us on this little Evangelion excursion.
The E-Venture.
The E-Venture. Well, that just sounds like...
Eva-Venture.
Eva-Venture. E-Venture sounds like something like a person in the 90s would call like an adventure. Like,
hey, the show came out in the 90s.
It technically did.
Radical.
Damn. Do you think Shinji's email was just like shinji@AOL.com?
AOL. It takes place in 2014.
It
right?
does actually.
And AOL emails are still a thing to this age.
It's true. It's true.
So, but
right.
Shinji in like chat rooms, like, do you hate your dad? I hate my dad.
Anyone else hate their daddy, but also secretly love him?
My wacky drunk aunt that I live with, and
my disaster aunt.
She is the wacky drunken aunt that Shinji lives with.
She is, yeah.
You're hot. Where's your hot aunt home?
All right. Okay, bye.
How about that? See you next time. Bye bye. Magma Diary.